Our presentation looks into the gender differences in expressing mental health disruption. Numerous studies have been conducted on the intersection of gender and mental health. Research suggests that men respond differently to mental health related issues. The results indicate that fewer men admit to having days interrupted by feelings of stress, depression, and problems with emotions than women. We did an extensive literature review and found that research from the past 10 years provides some interesting data surrounding the ways men and women express mental health disruption. The results indicated that women hold more positive mental health perceptions than men. Young men have the most negative attitudes toward help seeking, and men are less likely to report bad mental health than women. Women are maybe more likely to report distress. A study also looked at mental health perceptions among older adults and found that these have stabilised. Perceptions have worsened over time among younger persons, however. The study suggested that older men especially may need to be targeted in education relating to mental illness. A study looked at eating disorders and found that perceptions among the general population differ. Compared to women, they found that a substantial minority of men would be a little or not at all sympathetic to someone with an eating disorder. Men believe the disorder would not be difficult to treat, a diagnosis would cause little distress, and that bulimia nervosa is considered primarily a problem of lack of willpower and self-control. Another study indicated that women report significantly greater health symptoms than men, and women are more willing to talk openly about mental health. They indicate a wider range of symptoms and are more likely to seek treatment. A further study found that men and women have similar views about what causes Alzheimer's, but women are more concerned about developing Alzheimer's. Women are more likely to seek information about cognitive health and are more likely to get involved in organised, structured or social activities, while men rely on the physical activity of work. One study focusing on gender differences in voicing mental health service needs found that women see respect through the provider's willingness to engage in understanding and caring relationships, while men define respect as listening and explaining and by allowing choice and independence. Men want to be treated individually, while women want to be integrated into a healing relationship. A study found that men are less likely to endorse formal help for depression. They discussed the possibility that men believe treatment for depression is less effective than treatment for more serious disorders. In order to more deeply explore this topic, we chose to conduct data mining using a secondary analysis of the General Social Survey, GSS, of 2014. We hypothesised that men and women will express mental health symptoms differently, including stress, depression, and emotional problems in measurable ways. Our independent variable was gender. The dependent variable was a numerical response to the question, now thinking about your mental health, which includes stress, depression, and problems with emotions, for how many days during the past 30 was your mental health not good? A frequency distribution and cross-tabulation in Table 1 provides statistical evidence. Most people, 63.7%, responded that they have 0 bad mental health days. 69.3% of men and 58.4% of women stated that they are not impacted by bad mental health. Multiple sampling methods were utilised, such as quota sampling based on sex, age and employment, and other stratified methods. Rowland, Choi and Sarking, in their study, explain that women are more likely than men to provide a wider and more diverse range of symptom scores. But they also reveal that men and women are equally likely to be experiencing a mental health issue right now, be seeking treatment, or to have ever experienced a mental health issue. This may be due to women being more willing to express their emotions than men and acknowledge more bad mental health thoughts internally. Several of our sources agree that the attitudes of young adult women towards seeking help are more positive than those of young adult men. Men may be less likely to label problems as mental illness. There is limited but hopeful evidence to suggest that positive historical shifts in attitudes may be occurring. These combined results indicate that men and women respond differently when they are asked about experienced mental health issues, and these conclusions seem to support our findings. There are some limitations. We can't prove causation. Social desirability bias or the ambiguity of the question asked could change the results. Previous studies seem to align with our findings, which limits the possibility that our results reflect experimental expectancy or other threats to validity. Our findings indicate that more men than women report not having any days of feelings of disturbance or disruption in their emotions within the last 30 days. We interpret this to mean that women are more likely to report mental health issues and perceive mental health differently as compared to men. As a benefit of using secondary data provided through the GSS, we can be more confident that our results can be generalised. Other variables may influence our results, however. Our study shows quantitative limitations in considering the various features influencing the differences between genders. This may represent an area of growth for future qualitative research. In conclusion, our study provides insight into gender differences in viewing mental health issues through analysing previously conducted quantitative research. Further study could question the specific differences. This is a step toward finding tools that measure these differences and how to use secondary analysis for this purpose.